Oh, now we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Stone Genius Podcast. My name's Roro. I'm a stoner, I'm a genius, I'm often one, I'm sometimes the other. Got a guest today, whenever you're listening to this, recording at night. I invited Jason Ernst back to the program because I've had a lot of trouble doing solo shows recently. I enjoy so much interacting with other people. I mean, it's easy for me to talk for 2 hours, but I find it hard for me to do an hour-long show. So I thought by having you on the show, Jason, that you would frustrate me by throwing out we haven't been to the moon, the earth is flat, cats and dogs really do like each other, throwing out all these weird conspiracies, and I thought that would make me long for the days I was trying to make it to an hour by myself. So thanks.
So what you're saying is you needed me as a fluffer, huh? Okay.
Pretty much, yep.
Wow.
That was one of my best jobs I ever had. I was a jizz mopper at an adult bookstore. So they had the little rooms, and after a guy went in there, I would go in and then wipe everything down.
Was this the one on Metcalf?
I'm just kidding. I didn't really do that as a job. I would like to put that on a resume, though. Hey, guess what? Hold on. Okay. My microphone sounds weird. I took off the pop filter, and I haven't noticed. I don't know. I just seem weird in my head now.
That's good.
Hey, Jason, there is so much exciting stuff that's getting ready to happen to the program, and I can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah.
I will be able to soon. I'm going to throw out a geographical location. Oh, I wish I knew what the coordinates were, because then I could do that. And some of the nerd fuckers that listen to this podcast would look it up and know that I meant New York City. Cat's out of the bag. I said New York City.
You're moving to New York? What?
No,
what?
I don't. I have not spent much time in New York City. Before I came with you, before I came to work with you and met you, I was doing some freelance stuff for American Express, and this was like 2012. And so they had flown me out to their headquarters and stuff, and they put me up there. And I didn't venture too far from the hotel just because I was so busy. But I love Chicago, which I think is a very big city. And I know that it's very different than New York City, but also spending all of my adult life in the Midwest, I kind of see Chicago and New York not being dissimilar. But I will tell you, there is a funky smell that New York City has that I'm sure is probably in some areas of Chicago, but not anywhere I've ever been. I mean, that's the one thing. I could not get away from I don't know what it was, but there was a smell last time I was in New York City, and it just was everywhere.
Was it hopelessness?
Yes, that was the smell. It was hopelessness. Now, the thing I did enjoy is, I stayed at I think it was called the W Hotel, and I was up kind of high, not super high, maybe, I don't know. I can't remember how many floors it had. Maybe 10 floors up, 8 floors up, somewhere in that, 5 to 10 floors up is where I was. And it was all glass. So when I got there to New York City in the middle of the afternoon, there was a thunderstorm. And so I was in this hotel room looking at downtown New York City, or wherever the fuck I was in New York. I wasn't that far from Times Square. And looking at this expanse, and there's this rain pouring down, and you see lightning flashing everywhere. And I was just standing there buck naked. I was like, so this is fun. I think there's a 50% chance that someone's looking at me standing naked inside my room right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Sometimes it's for others. Yeah, sometimes I'm doing it for the crowd. That's what I'm doing it for.
For the shock value, I get it.
Yeah, something like that. How you been?
Man, it's been rough. Just hanging in there.
Looking for a job?
Looking for a job. Nobody wants to hire a 50-year-old.
Nope, that is correct. So I'm sorry, but you will never have another job again. So hold on, I want to say this now. Do you guys have benefits through Roz? I would assume, like
Yes,
health benefits.
She is carrying us, and health
Well, I mean,
benefits,
she works at a hospital, correct?
health benefits, and life insurance.
Yeah. So I will tell you this: so I am. So I used to make low six figures. And now I make like a third of that. Some of that is my own. I've chose to be where I am so that I can just kind of like say, like I told him today I'm going to New York City for 4 days. Of those 4 days, 2 of those days I'm already off. So it's really 2 days I'm going to be gone. And they about had a fit. Are you sure you want? That's like our weekend. It's a Friday and Saturday. I'm like, okay. I mean, honestly, it's just like, I mean, because he asked, like, I'm gonna change my mind. Like, do you need me to stay or do you? No. Yeah, I'm doing this. And once again, that's I don't know what movie it is. I want to say that it's John Goodman and he's talking to someone about your nut. Like, and I think it's $2 million. He goes, you have $2 million in the bank, and that's fuck you money. You can pretty much say fuck you to anyone about anything. You know,
I think it's the Big Lebowski is what you're talking about.
Is it? See, that's what, but I don't remember. See, I thought that's what I thought originally, but then I was thinking, because it seems like a different character. Anywho, anyhow, anyway, but he's talking about that. And we don't have that nut. If we had $2 million, I would not be working at all. So, but I do have I got a paycheck. So you're upset that, I mean, you would like to be employed right now and you're unemployed or underemployed. And this is no joke, received a check, still no joke, for 76 cents. 2 weeks of work, 76 cents. Hold on. I mean, fucking benefits. And I will tell you, when I left Best Buy to go to where I am, that was the biggest sticking point. Because I was going to immediately lose like 15 grand a year because of how much more benefits were going to cost. And I was still like, I need to be at a small business, which I do like it a lot because a lot of benefits doing that. But at the same time, yeah, I got a check for 76 cents. Hold on. I'm going to let that go weird. Yeah. Yeah. So I got that. Okay, I lost Jason. He's back. So, did you hear my story about me getting a check for 76 cents?
Yeah, and I followed that underneath the I don't care.
Yeah.
Department folder.
I mean,
because it's a job. It's a job, and I'd rather have nothing. I mean, aren't you?
No.
Underneath your wife's benefits?
No. They don't offer benefits. So here's a little thing about the field of dentistry and periodontics. General rule of thumb. Most of the time, not all the time because my wife does work for a female doctor. Most of the time, the doctors are male and the complete staff is female. And this is one of the doctors that Bobby worked for early on and for many years. When they asked why he didn't offer benefits to his employees, he said, well, you should get those through your husbands. And it wasn't said as a joke when he said that. So that's how they just don't offer. So, but I've often said I would immediately make a shitload of money just by going on. I mean, I could quit my job, go on the Affordable Health Care Act and save money. Probably
Yeah.
literally. I'm sure I get other checks that I'm making money on, but whatever they take a majority of our benefits out, it's ridiculous. I mean, for anyone that says socialized medicine is too expensive, they either don't have insurance or they have no clue as what their premium actually is. They like think that. So like when I worked at Best Buy, and I forget, I think as a family we were paying $450 a month, and ours right now is $1,900 a month. But see, that wasn't my portion. There wasn't the full amount. I pay almost the full amount at where I am now.
You're paying $1,900 a month in insurance and benefits.
Yeah, we are. Hold on. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why, because I guess I started talking about this because I was kind of discussing how I have that fuck you attitude, because it's like I can almost make more money by not working here. You guys know that, right? And it's funny because every once in a while they will be like, oh shit, he's serious. He literally just walked out. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I do what I do because I can do it. Someone at work, I did something, and they're like, "You can't do that." I go, "Well, who's gonna stop me?" And the owner's standing right there, and they looked at the owner, and they just shrugged, and he's like, "I don't want to stop him. I don't know what I was doing. It was nothing like offensive or anything. It was probably just hilarious. That's what I was doing. Something hilarious."
Hilarious to you and offensive to them, probably, because I know you're kind of racist.
No. So here's the thing. I tried to get 3 of my coworkers, the other 3 salespeople, to go to the Epicurean Lounge here in Kansas City, which I haven't been to in 35 years.
What the hell is that?
It is a lounge on Troost. And it's mostly black. If not, let's say, I'm saying mostly, and I'm trying to be generous, because if I say it's all black, someone will be like, it's not all black. Okay. So.
You mean African American? Let's get it right here. African American?
Black. And so.
Oh my God. There we go. You're gaslighting the situation.
No, you're not. So I did this to someone all the way back in like 1997 or 98. I was at the, and remind me to go back to the Epicurean Lounge. I was at a Best Buy in Wichita, Kansas. I was a manager. Someone came in and they were asking for an employee. They were like, hey, I was here at video last night. This person was great. I just want to talk to him. And I was like, do you know who it was? They go, I don't remember their name. I go, can you describe him? And you could just tell they were so uncomfortable about what words to use. And they were just kind of standing, and they're like, because I'm like, well, what do they look like? And like, you know, I was just trying to, and just the way they were staring, and they finally are like, they were African American. I go, I don't have anyone that's African American that works in that department. And literally, and I don't remember the person's name, literally right after that, the person walks out of the back, and they go, you don't have an African American that works here? And they point to the person, and I go, well, if you listen to his accent, you would understand he's not American. And I think he was British, but he talked with like a thick British accent. But that's what I think is funny. They were like so concerned. They're black. They can just black. We get it. I understand. And I do think it's funny. So here, let me get back to the Epicurean Lounge thing. Sometimes, should people be upset about things that are going on that maybe don't directly affect them? Yes. Can you go too far? Especially if it's... So here's what was said. And I am noticing the pop now. I'm going to have to figure out how to get my pop filter back on here. So the Epicurean...
I'm looking at the lounge right now. It's off of 75th in Troost.
Yeah. So I said, hey, we should all go there. And so then I told them what it's like. So first of all, someone said, well, they're going to be intimidated by us. And I was like, I'm sorry. Why would they be intimidated? And it was funny because I go, by you three. I am not included with these three. So I was like, how are they going to be intimidated? And they go, well, if they're not used to seeing white people, then they'll probably feel intimidated that we're at their club. Once again. So that's what was said by this person. Later, I went back to that same person and I said, hey, one of our other coworkers, and this was a complete joke. I said, hey, they're now on board to go to the Epicurean Lounge, but they said that they wanted to wear blackface to go. And this person lost their ever-loving mind.
Well, yeah, I bet.
I was like, oh, it was a joke. Because none of them would have been okay at none of them would have been comfortable at the Epicurean Lounge. I 100% guarantee that. It would have been an interesting sight. It would be like, I'm trying to think. Like if you're somewhere and you see something and it's like really weird, but you're just kind of like, almost like a car wreck. That's what it'd be like.
You can't take your eyes off a burning train wreck or some shit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Oh, my good old days.
So why are you going to New York? Golf?
No, it's something that so there's going to be some things involved. The date is already set. 420, which is perfect for me. I mean, if there's a date I'm going to do something important in my life, it's either going to be an important date with Bobby or it's going to be 420 or 6-9. 6-9 or internationally 9-6 because that's their 6-9. So one of those, June 9th, September 6th, either when I met Bobby, when we got married, something like that, one of those days. But 420 is the date that it's happening. There is something happening in Brooklyn, New York. I will be attending. I'm seeing how much of this tightrope I can continue to walk without falling. Hold on.
So what is it? Why can't you pay?
I can't because it's not my play. It is not. I am very honored to be associated with what's going on, but it is not my gig. And so it's not going to be announced, I don't think, on this podcast, but very soon we will address it. That will be announced, and then fill in the blanks at that point. So I'm looking forward to it. So at first I thought it was going to be in the Bronx because, of course, I got Bronx and Brooklyn mixed up. And so I watched The Bronx Tale again. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah. Is it going to be Saturday Night Live related?
No. Oh, that'd be fun too. I'm trying to think of things. It's going to be 420. I know exactly I know what I'm going to be doing on that day, and I know what I'm going to be doing days prior and probably the day after as well.
Is it going to be the Met?
No. And I will let you know it will not be me standing in a hotel window buck naked. I mean, that's just...
looking at I Googled all the events that were going on with Brooklyn, New York on April 20th of this year.
I'm sure there's a lot. So I'm going to I should be doing quite a few podcasts with live guests there that I've had on the program. It was funny because one of them is stoner comedian Sean Wickens based in New York City, and he does a lot of shows, stoner comedian shows. So involving around touching base on cannabis. And so I said, hey, I'm going to be out there that time. I hope you're not busy. He goes, well, we usually take that time off. And I was like, really? And it makes sense because I say it every year when people are like, oh, it's 420. And I'm like, as a real stoner, that's just another day. For like once in a while stoners, 420 is like a special day. Then, oh, I'm going to do this because I don't normally get to do it. And for the rest of us, it's like, fuck, it's actually this year I know it's a Saturday. So I know exactly what I will be doing on that Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll get more into it, but I'm super excited. It could lead to other things. I think there's going to be changes in the podcast, not big changes. Got some guests returning. I reached out to one prior to looking at notes where I wrote down flat earthers.
Yeah, you know I'm a believer of round earthers, right?
Are you sure? I think that you could hear the disappointment in my voice when you originally were talking about being a flat earther.
I mean, I'm kind of a chameleon. It just depends on who I'm talking to.
Well,
You know, I can blend in pretty well. You know.
can you, Jason? Because I
I
can't.
told you tonight was going to be rough, man, because I'm disconnected right now from a lot of things. I log on to Indeed every day, and I'm sorry to get into this. I don't have anybody to vent to.
No,
I
do it.
log into Indeed every day, and I look at all the remote jobs. I look at hiring immediately jobs. I look at all the jobs in the area. I apply. I applied over the weekend. In the last 4 days, I've applied to over 100 jobs, and I've not heard back anything except for, oh, well, we're going to proceed in a different direction. We're going to hire a different candidate, or we're going to hire somebody, an internal candidate, or I've not heard anything back, and it's fucking frustrating.
It is.
And it's scary.
It is.
To know that my degree don't mean shit. 25 years in telecom doesn't mean shit, and I am trying for freight broker, customer sales rep, or customer service rep. I'm talking about like
I think they still use jizz moppers
that I can apply to. I have applied to, and I can't get hired on anywhere. But yet I see all these other fucking people around, and they're just, oh yeah, my job sucks, or I love my job, and it's like it's frustrating because I want to work and I can't find a fucking job, and it's killing me. And I don't want to. I hate to admit this, but dark thoughts come into my mind all the time. It's like, okay, well then, why fight it? Why? What the fuck am I doing? So.
Oops, I hit quiet on my microphone because I'm jerking around with it on this way, and while I'm listening to you trying to get my pop filter back on, and that's not working.
You're fine.
It is tough. And so when I got laid off from a job the first week of January 2011, and I was told, I was director of operations with the company, I was told that I could be replaced someone half my age, making half of what I made, which was true. They went out and they actually challenged themselves, said challenge accepted, and did that. And that was a shitty time because there I was making six figures without a completed college degree in a horrible market. I mean, everything crashed in 2008. Things were just starting to kind of claw back a little bit in 2011. And I was underemployed for 22 months. During that time, I had mentioned that when I was in New York City, standing there naked for the world to see, because I like doing that. And also, if you're looking in my hotel room, that's on you. You don't have to look in my hotel room. If you look in and I'm naked, so be it. Sorry, that's what you get to see. Best case scenario, me and Bobby are together because we're both probably going to be naked. Hold on. There we go. But during that time, I would do contract work, and that was amazing. So it really kept me, because it would just perk me up just enough to get me through a short bit. So I would do like a week of work for American Express and make like $3,000. But then I wouldn't have work for 3 weeks. And then they would call me out. I'd go somewhere else. And
Mhm.
it was great because I went to training in New York City. Not that I would want New York City to where I would have been doing, but I got cast to Tulsa and Oklahoma City and Wichita and Little Rock and Dallas. And um, none of those, I'm sure there are people that do vacation to those vacation in those locations. I would not be one of them. And if someone said, "Oh yeah, I always vacation in Dallas," I'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to hang out with you." I mean, who vacations in Dallas or Tulsa or Wichita or anything, basically anything in the middle of the United States from the Canadian border to the Mexican border, like between Denver and St. Louis, north to south. There's really not much, but it got me through. I enjoyed that. The job that I finally took, and I was making actually, I was making just under 50%. When I finally took the job, when I came to work at the company that you worked at, I was accepting I was making 45% of my job that I had lost 22 months earlier. And that, yeah. So it sucks. I mean, we literally went from having 0 debt, and we were spenders too, but we never had any debt. I mean, it was not uncommon. I remember one time, so when the girls were small, they would always spend 1 week of summer down in Wichita with the in-laws. And so the girls were down there, and I thought I was just going to hang out and have fun, like staycation. Bobby was going to work all week. And like on Monday, I was like, fuck this. I don't know if the weather was bad or what. It was over the it was right before the 4th of July. And so I called Bobby at work and I said, hey, can you take tomorrow through the end of the week off? And she was like, why? And I go, well, I found a deal to Palm Springs. And she was like, yeah. So we flew to Palm Springs, spent 5 days out there, flew back, and it was just, that's kind of stuff. And we haven't gone on a real vacation since pre-pandemic. Bobby, I mean, like together and really, Bobby's gone to visit families in Texas and stuff like that. So she's gone a couple places, but that'll change. So it'll be fun to be in New York City this time. So I'm excited about that. But man, it sucks. So then when that job that we worked at went away, I was lucky. I went back to school, and our old job had to pay for me to be back in school. And so I went back to school and I worked part-time at a golf course through the summer, and I didn't do anything in the winter except study. Finished my degree, and I was like, so I finished my degree, and so I hadn't really been doing anything. It was the winter. It was December 2018. I was finishing my degree. I was like, I'm going to go back to Best Buy. I used to be in management there. I'm going to go back there just during the holiday season, get back in the habit of, showing up at a job and doing things for others and blah, blah, yada, yada. And so I started there. I'm like, I'm going to be there like a month tops. So I was there almost 5 years. And it was great. I mean, I enjoyed it. When I first went back, they had one of the best groups of employees. And I'm not much, and I wouldn't have said this in front of them. And in fact, I'm sure I said the exact opposite in front of them. But in retrospect, it was a great group of employees. So I did that. So I really enjoyed it. And the benefits were great. We didn't pay as much for benefits. So I was actually making more money than I did now, or do now. And so I was happy. Bobby had started making more money. And so we're just kind of like, oh. And so Bobby was she was fine with me. Fine may not be the right word. She was okay. That also may not be the right word. She did not murder me in my sleep because I decided to take, because at that point I was making about 20% of what I was like 7 years earlier. 20%. So like for every $5 I used to make, they were giving me $1. Hold on, I got a sound for that too. Ugh. So it sucks, and I don't make. That's why here's my biggest dilemma right now with my current job. Are you still there, Jason, or did I lose you?
I'm still here.
Okay. My biggest dilemma right now is when Bobby told me I had a 76-cent check, I was like, why am I even here? I mean, my biggest thing about me not doing the podcast full time is to do it full time. I almost need to already be doing it full time. I mean, I feel like to do it full time, I could do it and make the income, but I need to be doing it full time so I can get that income. I can't get the income to start coming in before I start doing it. But because the hardest thing is negotiating with guests, trying to lock them into a time. Because if I had a day, I could call them and say, hey, let's figure this out, nail down a time. Right now, it's emails back and forth. And if I'm at work all day, I may not see they may email me right after I looked at my phone last. And then when I'm leaving work, I may look at it and go, oh, and I email them. They don't respond till morning. So on one guest I showed Bobby once, I literally had like 46 emails exchanged from the time I invited them to be a guest to the time that I sent them the calendar invite. Like 46 emails back and forth. And that's just time, which is fine. It's just when you have a full-time job, it's very, it's difficult. And I also tell Bobby, like sometimes when she's like, well, you need to get, how about, like I have been getting more and more guests on that have some sort of name recognition or they have a huge following, whatever the case may be. But I also think about, like, if she mentions Joe Rogan, think about how many people that you really ever heard of before they were on Joe Rogan. And you may be like, oh, well, Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's like, well, did you hear about him before that? Or did you hear him the first time on? Because I can't remember. I want to say that I remember Neil deGrasse Tyson before he was like on Joe Rogan, but I don't know whether I did. I don't know where I would have unless it was another talk show. So a lot of the people that he has on his show, they're now recognizable names because they've been on his show. They weren't prior to. They had a good story. They had a good hook. They had a good whatever. And I'm starting to find that more and more. I mean, then I get the flat earthers. We haven't flown outside the Van Allen belt, blah, blah. I don't know. What else do you believe in again? You don't think we've been to the moon, right? Or is that another?
I mean, have we really? Can you prove it? Who was filming the landing when the moon when they landed on the moon? Who was filming the landing and who was filming the takeoff?
The aliens. I mean, you don't think the aliens are just doing nothing up there? I just think it's weird.
I don't think we landed on the moon. I really don't. Okay, I don't think we landed on the moon. I think it's all fake, and I believe that wholeheartedly, 100%.
So
I also believe while they were up there, they were amazed because they're like, we can't even leave the planet. So, I mean, there's always that too. They haven't been able to break through the firmament. Remember?
Yeah. So, and why is that again?
Because it says so in the Bible.
It did. I think I missed that part on the Bible.
Well, I think your high IQ society needs to cover that in this next episode.
Yeah, well. So how far can we go? So we can only get satellites up in the sky. Those are okay, but then further than that, it's no good. No bueno.
Can we break, or have we? Let's see. How about this? Have we broke through the firmament?
Hold on. Isn't the firmament, isn't that what Jason Statham went through and then let the megalodon out? And then the megalodon went crazy and started eating people because it was a prehistoric.
In biblical cosmology, the firmament is the vast solid dome created by God during the Genesis creation narrative to divide the primal feet into the upper and lower portions. So there you go.
So now you're a big Bible believer, big Bible thumper.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said that I've been reading the Bible.
So that helped you. You read that part and you're like, yes, that is the part, the Jesus thing, yes, and then this thing. These are the two my takeaways from the Bible. Those were the two takeaways.
I'd rather not talk about the Bible on this podcast anyway, because I know that you'll just troll me and all that stuff about it. So
why are you? What is your? Can I ask?
I'm still learning about it. I'm reading about it. That's why I'm curious. I'm reading the Bible so I can learn more about it.
Oh, you are reading it right now? Well, hold on. I got a sound for that. And I won't let it get creepy. Although there's a lot of creepy stuff in the Bible. Like a guy that gets eaten by a whale for 3 days. Sounds like a submarine. What? Or
I'm up to scene 2 in the Old Testament. So
I'm sorry. Did you say scene 2?
Kings. Oh. Kings. Kings 2.
Yes.
Have you ever read the Bible?
Yes.
Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God?
Yes. But if he's not, then I wouldn't be that surprised either. So, but yes, I do. So when I pray,
you don't believe that we evolved from monkeys, do you? You don't believe in creation of that, like that? You believe that God made us?
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Here we go.
I would be more.
If we evolved from monkeys, then why do monkeys still exist?
So no, I was gonna say I believe that it's probably more due to panspermia than it is anything else. That.
And what's your high IQ society believe about the law of creation? Did we come from monkeys?
Who said we came from monkeys?
Well, that's what part of evolution is, right?
No, not really. No, they're hominids, and we used to be in it, but they were never direct.
Oh, so you believe that we evolved from amoeba and fish from the sea, and we over millions of years we just evolved into what we currently have?
Nah, I don't think so. I think a comet came, left some DNA here, boom, here we are. It knew what to make. I mean, that's what. I mean, because if you think about it, if you think about the human body, it is a robot. We are robots, and you can, because everyone's like, I have a body. No, you don't. You have a skeleton that's covered by a body. That's what you have. You're a skeleton that's covered by skin and flesh and muscles and everything like that. So so what would we do if we were going to repopulate another planet? We would first send a single spaceship to that planet that would be able to replicate itself. And then those could replicate themselves, and they could replicate enough of themselves that they could start building out a planet for us, getting it conditioned, terraforming the planet for us. That makes a lot more sense to send something there that can replicate itself, i.e. humans, that somehow we came and when a comet hit the planet, that's how that happened. Okay, so we heard him drop. He's back. So that's what I would say. Like if we were gonna send.
Wait. How come every time? It's always my fault. I did not drop. You dropped me, just like before.
How did I drop? I'm sitting at a desk, totally non-moving. Nothing about me is moving. My phone is sitting.
I am too. I've got my phone on.
My phone on. But you're probably moving while you're masturbating, looking at whatever fetish weird porn stuff you look at.
No, I'm trying to figure out what your view is on life and where we came from, and if we evolved, are we still evolving? And what is the next,
Well,
evolution?
I believe I'm a little more evolved than most people, so it's a good thing that you're asking me this question. I believe that we will be. Well, I believe we should.
Do you pray? Do you pray every day? Do you talk to God?
Yeah, every day. And I do.
Really?
And I say, dear God in heaven every single time. So that's how I was raised. And that's why I say that I believe I was raised a Christian. I am a Christian. I will always profess to be a Christian. I believe Jesus is the Son of God. However, if some guy shows up in a spaceship and he's like, no, that's just a story we told those old Neanderthals, I'd be like, that makes sense too.
But that could be Lucifer.
Yeah, it could be. But considering that the Bible story has been told in other cultures way before the Bible was created, I mean, it's almost like they plagiarized some of the Bible.
Are you a fan of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
I mean, no. I mean, I don't give them two thoughts.
Oh, are you a hater? You're against the Swifties? Oh man, I don't know if you should be announcing that on this podcast that you're not a fan of Taylor Swift.
No. I have actually made my thoughts known about Taylor Swift. I told people that if they had a problem with Taylor Swift cheering at the game, but they were okay with Jason Kelce doing what he did at the game, then they just fucking hate women. That's the only explanation. Because she's my only problem with Taylor Swift, and it has nothing to do about her cheering at the football game. I think that's awesome. I think that I probably know less about it than Bobby does, but when I talk to Bobby about the relationship, she thinks it's probably real and everything. So I support. I mean, I'm fine with that. My problem is no matter what she's involved with, she overreacts to air, like it's an awards show. Like a lot of times they'll cut to her like a performer would come on, you know, like at the Grammys, and it's not her performing, but they'd cut and show her in the crowd, and she's just like, okay, we get it. It's a good song. I mean, it's always like, we know who you are, Taylor. Everyone already looks at you, or most people already look at you. You don't have to be like, look at me, look at me. I mean, and that's what it's always like. They would cut to her and she'd be cheering. It's like, I'm not sure that what just happened on the field is being reflected genuinely from your reaction. Because if we saw your reaction first, we'd be like, oh my God, the Chiefs just scored this miraculous touchdown. And then you would cut and it was like a 3-yard, counter run. It's like, okay, hold on, I get a sound for that. I guess I don't have to say I have a sound for it. I can just do the sound.
Because I'm a genius.
You like that little Steve Buscemi in there?
Yeah, that's Buscemi.
Yep. It's my favorite line from that movie. Because I do that all the time. When people are like, well, how do you know that? And I will. I'll just be like, because I'm a genius. Who are you? And then I'll pull my card out and be like, yeah, motherfucker. I do like doing that. I am, like, here's some of my challenges with church. A lot of the people there is what turns me off. Like when I go to my mom's church, was it a Presbyterian church, which I grew up at one of their, not where she goes, same church, but a different location. They have multiple locations here in Kansas City. Just sometimes when the preacher preaches, like the reaction of the audience, I think I have verbally laughed there before. And generally what gets me there is when they talk about, they like to talk about human trafficking, sex trafficking, things like that. And they'll be like, there's 13 and 14-year-old girls that are being trafficked, and the people in the audience will gasp. And I always want to remind them that if you are a true Christian believer, the mother of your Savior was raped by a ghost. Because I'm going to say what the Bible's going to say it was consensual. Like she was like, okay, I'm on board with this. I'm going to say that may be a generous offering. I don't know anyone that sees an angel or a ghost and they're like, I'm going to seed you. Is like, okay. So, yeah. You know, and it starts off early. Like some of the issues that I have with the Bible is like when they always say Cain murdered Abel. Well, he didn't murder Abel if it was Adam, Eve, and then Cain and Abel. Because here's the thing. They wouldn't know what murder was. They would have no idea. Like it's always depicted as he like killed his brother with a stone. Because it was fucking Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel. They didn't have like tools or AR-15s to use. So he kills them. And why would you, if that's never happened before, why wouldn't you think, well, he's going to wake up. He'll heal and wait. I mean, why would you assume that if I hit him with this rock, he's going to die? But like when he leaves the Garden of Eden after doing that, he like goes over to the next mountain and meets a girl there and marries her. Okay. Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. And then he goes, once again, Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. And then he goes to the other side of the mountain. There's people there. Where did they come from? Like, that's the thing that I don't get.
How do we know that he wasn't Satan reincarnate?
Sure, let's go with that.
You know what I mean? And then he
So let me ask you this. So why is Satan bad? Like, why if Satan, if Lucifer, why?
Because he was cast out of heaven because he wanted to overthrow God.
Right. So if you were in a friend group and there was a power struggle to see who kind of led that friend group, did the person that lose, do they get cast out of that group and now become the worst person on the face, like history's ever known? I just find that
depends on what they do to try to overthrow.
Yeah. Well, I guess God should have been. I guess God should have been a little more omniscient.
If one of your friends tried to kill you to take all your stuff, wouldn't you be like, yeah, I'm never going to talk to this guy again?
Well, first of all, I would have finished him so there wouldn't be a devil. Why do you need that? Do you know why you need that? Because you need good and evil. I talk about this in the Bible. Like, no one ever talks about the hero Goliath. If there was no fucking Goliath in the Bible, there would be no David. There would be no King David. That little pipsqueak would have still been back there, you know, like getting all the leftovers and hand-me-downs for his brothers who were actually something. They were men because they were grown up. They weren't little runts. And then he fucking kills a giant. And that's the only reason. So you need bad and the good.
That's not the only reason. He was a very beautiful man. The Bible says.
Who was?
David, King David. David.
Fuck that. He was a tiny guy. There's no way. When I get to heaven, I'll say, and here, I sent this, I should have sent it to you. It's a meme and it says, if you get to heaven and I'm not there, you're not in heaven. Yeah, my heaven's going to be very selective. So I don't know what heaven's going to be like, but it's going to be amazing. And I don't believe in a hell, really. So, and I know everyone's like, oh, that's what the devil wants you to think. So here's the deal. Let's say that the universe is 13 billion years old. And we're here for 80 years, maybe more, maybe less. Let's say 80 years. We're on Earth. And we get damned to eternity because we didn't ask Jesus to be our Lord and Savior, or we did something bad and didn't repent, or I just think that's a very harsh punishment. I mean, that would be like getting a parking ticket and then being murdered. I mean, getting the death penalty for a parking ticket or whatever else. Whatever would be a very insignificant misdemeanor infraction, and a lot of that doesn't make sense. And I'm not, so when I used to run our church golf league at the largest church here in Kansas City, and we had about 80 players, if I hit a bad shot, I may say, God damn it. And it was always like, people would be like, whoa, that's in a church golf league. I'm like, well, yeah. If I'm going to think it, I'm going to say it. And they're like, well, you shouldn't think it. I'm like, yeah, that's not how it works. Not in my mind.
And you shouldn't say it, you know?
What?
I mean, come on. And you shouldn't say it. Come on, man.
I'm okay. You know what? If he's that concerned with me saying his name like that, then okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, here's my thing. I'm pretty okay with my soul. And I talk to God every day. I'm in communication with him. I've told Bobby before, because sometimes she'll hear me talking to God, and I'll be like, hey, Jesus, when I get to heaven, I'm going to hunt you down, motherfucker. I'm going to knock the fucking shit out of you. And she'll be like, I can't believe you talk like that. And I go, here's the deal. Don't worry about the way you hear me talk to God. When you should be concerned is when you hear me not talking to God. When I don't have dialogue. Because I tell you, whatever my outbursts are with him, you don't hear the 30 times for each one of those times that I'm talking to him about. Thanks for a beautiful day. Thanks for putting my wife in my life. Thanks for putting these kids in my life. Thanks for having a dog that, even though she's really weird, she really makes all of our lives better. I mean, I am so thankful each and every day. And I know that there's a God. I know that there is something in the universe. And I've said this 100 times. I've said this 1,000 times probably on this program, is that because of Bobby, there is no way that I end up with Bobby. Because I will tell everyone, I am not a good person. I let people know that up front. And everyone's like, no, I'm telling you. And then they're shocked when I'm not a good person. Like if I sink my fangs into them and all of a sudden they're like, ugh. And I'm like, I told you. One of my favorite things is when people are like, nice to meet you. And I go, you just didn't give it enough time. So, and I'm okay with that. So, but there's no way that Bobby and I, out of 7 billion people on the face of this planet, there's no way that we end up in close proximity, with relationships with people that cause our lives to intersect, our lifelines to intersect. I mean, because it's always about, it's a geographical location and a time. You can't do one without the other. Like I could tell you, I'm gonna meet you. Hey, Jason, let's meet at Hooters for lunch tomorrow. That doesn't do you any good unless I tell you a time. Man, I do like talking.
I mean, I could go up there. I could just go up there and wait, though. You know.
Well, it is Hooters, so yes, you should. Yeah, but they don't have Wednesday Wings Day anymore, and they haven't in years. That was the only reason. Go up there, get my boneless wings, my French fries, my water, and with a tip, I could get out for $15. And if it was just the tip, I could get out for $15. I was going to try to make it funny with just the tip, but I didn't have any. I would be a horrible freestyler. I mean, I'm good. I'm like, for like 2 lines, maybe 3, I could freestyle something. After that, no. Because then I'm tying too many things together. Like I can tie like line 1, 2, and 3 together. And then I'm having to tie those into 4. No, thank you. So how did you grow up religiously? Did you grow up going to church and doing all that fun stuff?
I did. I was I was raised Christian, and I would go to youth group on Sunday nights, and during the summer I'd go to vacation Bible school, and then probably around 87, 88, I stopped going to church, and then I didn't go to church for a long time. There was some stuff going on. I don't want to get into it. But
so see, and that's what I think was a little bit different for me, that sometimes people like go to church as they're growing up. Like I'm going to use our oldest, Mo, for an example. So she grew up, we went to church every week. She went to youth group, all these things. So that was just part of her life. So then when she goes to North Carolina State, at least the first semester, if not her whole freshman year, she found a church and would do stuff, and then kind of, church is really early on Sunday, and well, I don't have to go every week. If I go every other week, that'll be fine. And, so things change and you kind of fall away from the church. I was at church all the fucking time. So when I was born in Tampa, St. Pete area, I was born in St. Pete, lived in Tampa. My grandfather was the minister of First Christian in Hyde Park. My grandmother played the organ. My mom was youth director. My dad was business administrator. Very incestuous thing there, which I guess is not uncommon for churches. Anyway. So we were always around at church. In fact, in Tampa, there was a house like that we lived in, a multi-story house. I think the business offices were on the first floor, and then our house was the next 2 floors up from that. I mean, the next 2 floors above that. And then when we came to Kansas City, what brought us to Kansas City, my dad took a job as a business administrator at a large church here in Kansas City, which is brought us to Kansas City. My mom went to work at another church. And then every Sunday, I was Sunday school for an hour and then church for an hour. And then my mom still is. She was when I was a child in the 70s. And now that she's in her 80s, here in 2024, she's the same way. She is a social butterfly. She will talk to anyone around. She will go. And so we'd spend an extra hour just sitting there waiting. Like now when people say you don't have much patience, it's because literally patience is finite, and my mom wasted most of it sitting at church. But so when I got out on my own, I was so used to going to church every Sunday that I just continued to go. It was almost like muscle memory. So I would go to the church I'd always gone to. I felt everyone knew me there. I was never sitting, even though I was going by myself most of the time. If I didn't go at the same time as my parents, then I knew people around me. So it was just very comfortable for me. I mean, I don't think there was ever a time, maybe when we lived in Wichita, because I grew up Presbyterian, Christian, a Christian church in Tampa, the actual Christian denomination, not Church of Latter-day Saints, I don't know, something. But the Church of Christ, I think is what it's called. And then came up here and we went to a Presbyterian church, and it was much different. But then Bobby went to a Nazarene church. That's what she grew up. Hold on. So I don't know much about the Nazarenes, but like dancing's off limits, drinking's off limits. So like our wedding reception, like her grandfather or her grandparents didn't go. Her parents did go, but I think there were a lot of people that didn't go because of that. So that was really weird. So there may have been a little bit of time where I didn't go to church down there just because I wasn't really there with the church. That was just me personally. I have to be in tune with it. I have to want to go. When we came back to Kansas City, we were only down there 3 years. We started attending Church of the Resurrection in 99, and we've been there since. So, yeah, long time. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's where I am. And so here's my thing also about heaven. We were in a small group at church once, and the discussion was heaven, and one of the women in our group said, well, I picture we will be standing at the feet of Christ in heaven, singing his praises for all eternity. And I literally said, nope, not me. And I go, I have never, you could give me 1,000 guesses of what heaven's going to be like. That would have not been one of the 1,000 guesses. Give me 2,000. Probably wouldn't have been 2,000. I would have had a guess that heaven would have been full of porn stars and nonstop fucking before I would have come up with standing at his feet, singing his praises for all eternity. First of all, church, there's a lot of singing. Most of you are not good singers. These are not American Idol finalists that are sitting in the pew next to you. These are the people that were on the first episodes of American Idol when they were shitty, but their fans were like, oh, you're a good singer, you should try out. And they're not. There's people like that. And I will be quite honest, I am probably one of those people too. Can I sing the Monkees at karaoke? Yes. Can I sing James Brown at karaoke? Yes. Can I sing a 400-year-old Christian hymn? Probably not. I mean, there's going to be a lot of vocal changes for me. My voice range doesn't exactly cover that. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. So that's how I was growing up. And that's how I still am. Go to church now a lot of times, twice on Sundays, which I still don't think it's going to get me into heaven. Like, my anticipation.
Wait. Do you think you've done some stuff that's like
Fuck yeah.
predetermined that you're not going to go to heaven because of the stuff you did, or do you think you're gonna just like matter what you do, you can't make up
So
for
I
it?
don't think fuck those rules. I mean, so who was it? I think it was okay. Penn and Teller. I think Penn's the one that talks, and Teller doesn't. But
Yeah.
he was talking about religion. I don't know what he claims religion or non-religion wise, but he was talking about how, it says, don't murder in the Bible. He goes, well, that doesn't keep me from murdering, because I will tell you, I've murdered exactly the number of people I've wanted to murder in my life, which is 0. It's like, so I don't believe like a lot of those. I don't know. I'm not being judged. That's not my guideline. And I get it. There are a lot of people that think, well, you're not a Christian, you're whatever. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't need to make my argument to someone about my relationship with my almighty being. I'm okay. I don't need to sell you. If I don't see you in heaven, guess what? We're going to be okay. I'll be fine if I don't see you in heaven. So I get that a lot though. I mean, I'm being literal about this. I think Bobby, so here's the deal. I meet Bobby, knock her up, we have a baby. So she didn't have a lot of time to get to know me and try to escape from me. I'm telling you now, even though I knocked her up, if we would have lived in the age we had now with like cell phones where I could have texted her or dick picked her all the time, no way we end up together. I mean, that's why not only do we have to meet at the right time of the night that we met at the bar. We literally needed to meet at a time where cell phones, 10 years later, Bobby and I aren't together. There's no way. She would be like, not your baby. I'd be like, are you sure? And she'd be like, no. There's no way she would end up with me. So timing had to work. So to get back to the question, have I done stuff per the Bible that I'm not good into heaven? Yes, probably.
Oh no! What'd you do?
Doesn't matter.
Oh no!
I know, right? But that's fine. So it was funny because, not funny. Used to joke with Bobby that we kind of needed to die at the same time, because the only way I was going to get into heaven is if I was her +1 and just tried to get in and go, oh, I'm with her. She has my ticket. I'm good. And try to get in. But then that sounds creepy. Baby, we're going to have to die at the same time. I don't even joke about it. You know what? When I get there, I'll be fine. Wherever I end up, I'm fine. So here's the thing, too. Let's say heaven and hell are good. And here the devil has deceived me, and I thought, I didn't give him enough credit, street cred. He's really there. He gets my soul at the end of eternity. This is how much hubris I have. I still think him and I would kick it. Now, I know what everyone thinks. He's the devil, blah, blah. He's so bad. But you know what? I mean, he's still got to have a close inner circle. Like, demons that are just like super cool demons. So if I go to hell, once again, I think I'm still going to be in the cool clique. I mean, I'm going to get there and be like, dude, come here. We've been waiting for you. What took you so long?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I've said my vision of heaven, and it's weird because I've never seen, to my knowledge, seen this valley in picture or life, is that my heaven is sitting looking over a green valley with like granite almost like European style mountains rising up, but looking through this green valley, and it's sunny, and that's all I remember. There's no one there. None of my dogs are there. My kids aren't there. My wife's not there. No, it's just, and it's always so peaceful. I mean, it's just me, because I'm always like, if I had a day, if someone's like, do your perfect day, that would probably be it. Not that everyone, but just sitting there and kind of absorbing myself and feeling. This is what I also talk about. So I know that God is real, or the universe, whatever you want to call the person that sits behind the computer that's running my simulation, whatever's going on. I am 100% sure that he is real, because I met Bobby. And I forgot, I was going somewhere else with that. But the other reason, when I go out in the summertime and I feel the sun on my skin, that's what I feel. That's when I feel God's touch. I don't know if you've ever been outside, like when it's kind of like if you're standing out there and you have your skin's exposed, like your arms are exposed in your face. Like if you're facing the sun, you feel warm, but everything that's in the shade is really cold, so you keep turning around to try to keep yourself warm. And that's how I feel. I really feel like when the sun hits me, if I had to describe, if someone goes, how would you describe God's touch in your life? That's how I would describe it. The touch of the sun hitting my skin on a warm day. Hold on.
That's beautiful.
So, I mean, I'm not, I get it. I'm not, I also.
Here we go. What?
Well, so they talk about being humble and stuff in the Bible. And I'm always like, so here's generally my comeback. God would not have made me so awesome if he wanted me to be humble. You know what? Being humble is for people that aren't awesome. So I always talk about my height. 6'5" is God's height. If you're an inch taller, you start not being able to fit in cars, not being able to fit in hotel beds. No one is 6'5" has ever wanted to be an inch shorter. Never in the history. I can't think of a single person, and I would like to meet that person that's 6'5" and goes, "Oh, I wish I was 6'4". That would be awesome." Or if I was just 6'2", I laugh at people. Yeah, I'm tall. How tall are you? 6'2". Well, that's cute. I was 6'2" in like 7th grade. Thank you for playing. But every once in a while, I will hear someone in my sphere of something, and they will.
Circle of trust.
They will mention how blessed they are. It's kind of like a chant, a mantra about them being blessed. And I always want to be like, what? Why? I mean, because I am curious. And here's my thing. I always want people to have reasons for whatever. Like, if you say we've never gone to the moon, that's fine, but you better have some pretty good evidence. If you want to say the Earth's flat, that's fine, but you better bring it, because I'm going to bring it back at you. So I just want there to be, so my thing is I always want to be like, how are you blessed? I mean, I literally just, I don't know. I mean, I'm blessed because I have an amazing and hot wife. I have 2 amazing kids. I'm amazing. Our dog is freakishly amazing. I mean, we thought she was deaf and dumb when we first got her, literally for the first month, and yet she's surprisingly awesome. I could go on and on about all the blessings that we have. And so, and I like that. I think that I'm very blessed by God. And so, and I'm always grateful for that. I talk about it all the time. I tell him thanks every night. And that's one thing. There was a time that I would smoke right before I went to bed, and I actually stopped doing that because it was interfering with me praying before I went to bed. Hold on, I got a sound for that. Oh, I got to stop saying that. That should be the name of this episode. I have a sound for that. I'm going to write that down.
That'd be good.
Yeah. But then when people ask me, well, what does that mean on the podcast episode, I will make something up. I have a sound. So you're reading the Bible now. So what led you to start reading the Bible now?
It was about 2 years ago. I just something in me said, I need to read the Bible. So I started reading the Bible, and I happened to go up to my hometown where I was born and raised, and I stopped by this museum that I haven't been to in like a long time, just something out of the blue. I was like, something drew me there. So I pulled in, and there was a guy in there, a family friend that I haven't seen in a long time. We started talking. I told him I was reading the Bible, and he said, hey, you should stop by sometime at the church in your town where you're living at, and we do a Bible study on Wednesday nights. And I said, okay, I'll have to do that. So I started going to Bible study and learning more about the Bible, and turned to a Bible study prayer group. So I go there every Wednesday, and then started going to church on Sunday and show up about an hour early before church.
There you go. Get some applause.
Show up to an hour early before church, and they have like another Bible study prayer group before regular church, and then they have like a breakfast every 2 or 3 weeks. They have a breakfast, and then once a month they have a Christian men's breakfast. So I go to that, and we hang out and talk about activities and ways we can bring people into our church. And
see, and that's awesome. So one of the so here's a couple of my things. I don't ever have a problem with talking about God. Like if someone wants to bring up, I'll talk about God. I'll talk about the church, and if they want to start talking about this type stuff, I'll do it too, which generally turns those people off. So when I ran our church golf league, I wanted to get us shirts so that because we're a huge church. I think we're like 24,000 members. So big. And so we had like 80 players in our golf league. And I was like, we need shirts so that we can identify each other on the course and stuff like that. And we'll know. So we got it, said CORE for Church of the Resurrection, COR, golf league. And then we'd put their name. A lot of them would put their name. I don't think everyone would put their name. And I actually told them, I go, not only is this for the golf league, I go, if you decide to use it at other times, it may help you talk about the church. Because I was like, how many people would be like, what's CORE Golf League? Oh, Church of the Resurrection. Oh, is that time? And then you can search, because a lot of people can't. So like when I used to work in the golf industry, I used to very easily segue in, I run my church golf league. Oh, where do you go to church? And then we'd do that. So it's very easy for me to talk about my church. It always has been, but it is not always like that for others. So here's little things that I think is funny. And I am not throwing Bobby under the bus, although it may sound like that. And if I have to make that disclaimer, anyway, I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. But when we go to church on Sunday morning, and it's more since the pandemic, but it was somewhat beforehand, she hates greeting other people. And I'm like, you're going to be in heaven with these people and you won't even greet them at church. I just always say, I don't particularly like, because I don't mind greeting other people, like saying good morning, but they always want to be like, say good morning and tell us what your favorite Fruit Loop is, or Starburst, or I don't know, tell us what your favorite month of the year is. And it's like, I don't need an icebreaker. I don't need an icebreaker to talk 30 seconds to you so I can now sit down and be quiet next to you for the next hour while someone else talks to us. So I get that too, but I'm a people person, so you know me. Always there with a firm handshake. Did I lose you again?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah.
Man.
You didn't know I was so churchy, did you? And Bobby likes it missionary style.
I didn't know you were so
churchy.
No. About her
so
meeting new people. She doesn't like she doesn't like meeting new people. I thought maybe you guys were both social butterflies and just wanting to go
Oh
out and
no,
spread
no,
your
no, no,
wings
no,
all
no,
the
no.
time.
Once again, I had to put a baby in Bobby for her. So that's the plus about the Nazarene college. I mean, the Nazarene church is that it really made her want to do the right thing, which is I got this guy's baby. I should probably hang around him for a while or see how this shakes out. So that was good. And I mean, I remember Bobby. So once again,
Do you think that was the only way you could have kept her? Is if you dropped your seed in her and she got pregnant?
no, because there's no way, because we were meant to be together. So however it was, the thing was that's how I mean, it was just. Let me ask you this, churchgoer: do you believe?
Wait. Oh,
Okay.
wait. So what? Since you believe in fate and destiny, and you guys are supposed to be together, what would you have taken her still if she had married somebody else because she thought he was the one, and they ended up having like 2 or 3 kids, and you guys met further down the line?
I just think that's not what the universe wanted. The universe wanted us to be. We're going to be together. It didn't matter. Like if I would have said the night that I met her, which was actually just a few days ago. So I met her 28 years ago on February 3rd.
Yeah.
So, hold on. I got something for that.
Date and I didn't go through.
So here's the deal. So about a month prior to that, my roommate Curtis was killed in a car accident. I wasn't going to be able to afford our townhouse just by myself. And at his funeral, 2 people that I had met through him, Ryan and Kristen, they were looking for a roommate. They had a townhouse. They had a 3rd bedroom, the whole downstairs. And they were like, we need a roommate. I was like, oh, that works out perfect. And so I moved in, and Kristen worked at Talk of the Town in Lenexa, Kansas. And she would call me and be like, hey, you should come out. You should come out. And would ask me, yeah, you should come out. And I'd always say no. And for some reason, she called me. It was a Friday night. She called me. It had to be after 9:30. This was before cell phones, so it would have had to been a call back to our place. I was at work. If I went straight home and didn't stop by Taco Bell or something, then it would have probably been 9:30. So I get a call, and I remember saying, is there anyone I'd be interested in meeting? That's all I said. It was just out there. It could have been girl, guy, just, since Curtis died, it hasn't been particularly awesome. I'm now living with 2 people that I didn't really know, as opposed to living with someone that I knew extremely. I mean, so I just said, is there anyone I would be interested in meeting? Just talking to, just having a good time. And Kristen goes, well, there's this 6-foot blonde girl you might like. And so I was like, okay. I mean, that's all the universe had to say. So Kristen may not have even been on the end of that phone. That could have been like the future calling me and saying, you need to be with this girl, so come up. So that's all it took. I go up there as soon as I walk in. So, and I tell the story all the time, and it's always the same. And this is how you can tell how ingrained it is in my mind that it is always exactly the same story. Is that so their bar area was a couple steps up from the rest of the seating area, and at the far end of the bar, so the ceiling's probably no higher than 8 foot, but because that area is raised, it's probably closer to 7 foot. I'd say 7.5 feet. And then Bobby's over 6 feet tall. She was probably wearing some sort of short heel, so let's put her at 6'3", 6'4", maybe. And then the can light was right above her, and it literally looked like her head was glowing. Like I walked in, and I remember seeing her first. And then I was like, fuck. And there's Kristen, my roommate, right next to her. And so I went up, and Bobby had been hanging out with this guy that night. His name was Mr. Beer. I don't know if people have ever heard of Mr. Beer before, but so we hung out there for a while. We went to another bar, which was right across the parking lot. I said, we're leaning at the bar. I was leaning on my left arm. She was leaning on her right arm. I said, I would really like to kiss you. She responded, why don't you? And I stuck my tongue in her mouth.
And then it was just like fireworks, huh?
Then I took her home, and by the time I got her home, she was ready to pass out. So took her inside, put her in bed. Then she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Now, I will tell you that was my fault, not her fault. So that the next morning when I'm driving her back to work, which is where she met. So not only is she doing a walk of shame type thing into her car, but now she's having to go back to work in the clothes that she'd left work in the night before. And everyone knew, there's work people there. They knew she left. So I think there was a lot of, who was that? And Rodney, and they're like, Rodney who? And she's like, I don't know. Which is that is the appropriate response after a one-night stand. There is no way you should know that person's last name at all. That's too much information. Exchanging bodily fluids, 100% okay. Last names, no, don't do it. Anyway, so on the ride to take her back to work the next morning, I kept saying, I was going to have to work that night till 9. I kept saying, hey, I'll be home like at 9:30. You know, I'd love to see you. I am doing everything I can to see her. And she kept going, no, I can't. Whatever. She's making up excuses. And she was kind of seeing a guy at the time as well. So I decide to go to Lawrence to see a girl that I knew. I go to Lawrence. I'm only there a couple hours. I was like, this is not fun. I'm leaving. I go back home. I get to my place, and who's sitting on my couch? No, it's more like a. Nope, it's more like a. Actually, I think when I walked in, it was this one. So Bobby's sitting there. She had been waiting since 9:30 when I said I was going to be home.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I went to Lawrence instead. So I think we hung out. I don't know, maybe a little. She probably excused herself. I mean, I don't think she was like, I want to hang out and watch movies or stuff at this time. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure she left. She didn't talk to me again until Valentine's Day. So it was about 10 days. And then the night before I meet her, and I tell this story all the time too, is I went to karaoke and I was singing James Brown. I was singing a lot of stuff, but mostly James Brown that night. Because I will never see hold on.
I will never see these people again, so I can sing James Brown. They can all fuck off because I'm going to be awesome. Because why wouldn't a tall, skinny white guy just kill James Brown?
So then Bobby calls me, go to meet her at a bar. I meet her there. We're getting something to eat. And this group comes up and they're like, hey, you're Roro. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we were at the other bar last night. You were singing James Brown and something. And they walk off. And Bobby's like, that's weird. I go, yeah, sorry. I mean, so you're trying to impress a girl. And then you stand her up, basically. You say, hey, you should come into my place at 9:30, and then you show up at 11:30. So I stood her up that first night. And then the next night, random people are coming up and saying, I know that they're saying to me, great job. You did a really great job singing James Brown last night. But what she's hearing is, I'm sitting across the table from a possible serial killer. Yet she still went home with me. And I'm pretty sure seed was set somewhere close to that date. Yeah. Yay. Hold on. I got... thank you. I mean, I think we only had an audience once. So I remember once I looked over my shoulder and her roommate was standing in the doorway. And not like walked in and was like, oh shit, and like turned around. It looked like when I turned that the pose was like more of a watcher pose than it would be a, oh, I walked in on something reaction. The reaction was more that I caught them looking than it was. They gave me a thumbs up, though, and a high five afterwards, so that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding. We do bring that up every once in a while. Let's see. The only other person that watches it is our dog. That's why I hope that dogs can't speak in heaven. I've had this debate with people that are big dog lovers. Oh, I hope my dog can speak. Why? Why do you want your dog to speak? I mean, it's not going to do you any good. Like, here's the
Especially
deal.
when he says, remember that one time when you didn't fucking feed me for 8 hours? Okay.
Well, and that's what I mean. It seems like it would be, if something's going to talk, you want them to talk the whole time. You don't want them, you don't want to hang out with someone that you think is deaf, and then after an hour you found out they could hear you the whole time. I mean, and I will tell you,
that would be awesome.
like a lot of people when they come here, and she probably did this when you came, is our dog likes to back her butt up and get her butt scratched. And everyone's like, oh, that's interesting. Well, I'm just going to say that she's
watched you do it 1,000 times, because I know how much you love.
She's
putting
like, yeah,
shit up your butt.
she's like, okay, so mom, she's on all fours like me, and then she backs up to dad, and then
Is that your favorite sexual position, is doggy?
No. I do like missionary because I can be in control, and I do
You have
like
to be in control, huh?
yeah. And I do like cowgirl, reverse cowgirl. Those are fun for Bobby. I mean, for me with Bobby. I mean,
Yeah, so you can
yeah.
poke things in her butt and squeeze onto some titties and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm doing it right, yeah,
Or-
exactly.
What about not even 69 enters the picture?
No, I mean so I am lucky with Bobby because me being 6'5" and her being 6'1", if we 69 it, our parts match up. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal, he's not matching up with any. There's no 69 going on there. I mean, no one's going to be happy in that kind of deal. So, but it's just not. I mean, here's the thing. It's like in 69, it's like, oh, I got to take care of her. Oh, she's taking care of me. Oh, shoot, I got to take care of her. Oh, she's taking care of me. Oh, okay. And it's like, you know what? Just draw straws, or just someone say, take the initiative. I'm going to take care of you first. You can take care of me second. 69. It is great in theory. Bobby and I we'll screenshot of it 69 degrees out. I mean, I love it. It was 69 degrees on 420, and I screwed myself up. I did a screenshot of that, and then I made that my screensaver. Well, then it fucked me up because I was always looking on 420. I'm like, no, it's not. So yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't want my dog to talk in heaven. I mean, So here's the deal. If my, and they've
How's your dog been? Because the last time we were talking, she was in pretty rough shape.
She was. So we have to be very, one of the neighbor dogs came over today, and he's a lot smaller, and he wants to jump up, and he's not very heavy, but even putting that pressure on her neck or back's not good. So she has much more good days than she does to have bad days. Her bad days have become less frequent, which is nice. So she's doing good, but she even knows, she used to like to play tug, with a floss or a rope and stuff like that, or she'd pick stuff up, pillows or blankets, and shake them. And I think she knows that she has something wrong with her neck or back because she doesn't do those type of things as much anymore. So she's doing well. But here's the deal. If I don't want my dogs to talk in heaven. I don't need them going, hey, buddy, guess what? And if my dogs are like they are, I was trying to think, so my first few Dobermans, in my mind, they were just angels at all time. Dakota is an angel, but she knows exactly what she wants. She's a very smart dog, but fuck, trying to find out what she wants. And gosh dang. I mean, and that's why if she could talk, like if I wanted her to talk, it would be now, not in heaven. Like for the next billion years, I don't need 10 billion years, whatever. I don't need my dog talking to me. Now I need her. Like when she's whining at the back door, I need to know, do you really want to go outside? Do you want me to stand? I don't know what you want. So, and it's very specific. We've gotten where we joke with her. We're like, come on, girl, take us. Who's in the well? Because like if she wants to lead you somewhere and you say, take it, she will take you exactly where she wants. Like, here, now find what I want here. It's like, ugh. So yeah, I don't want my dogs talking in heaven. What do you think about heaven and hell?
In regards to, am I going?
Yeah. Are you going? Do you have any doubt? See, that's the thing I also think is funny, that I have no doubt that I will go to heaven, and other people, they're the ones. And that's why I'm always like, don't fucking worry about me. Honestly,
I don't think I'm worthy yet. I think I still have to prove myself some way.
Do you know what that way is, or do you think it'll just be shown to you, or you'll just at some point go,
I think I'm probably going to go to hell.
You don't think you'll get in?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go to hell. I think I've done a few things that were that would be judged detrimentally to my status in heaven.
Nah.
I get up there and they'd be like, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
You remember that one time? I'll be like, oh yeah. Hey, you remember that one time? Oh, well, yeah. Oh, hey, what about that one time? Well, okay, all right, yeah, I remember that too.
So here's kind of my feeling about that. Also, is like Bobby and I, our relationship. I love her. I cherish her. She's on a pedestal. Everything I do will be for her, as long as I don't do anything to harm her, against her, to cause her any type of trauma, something like that. I don't get my God, universe, whatever, gave us to each other, gave me to her, her to me, however you want to say it. So I'm not worried about the other fucker. I don't worry about how I treat other people. Oh, you don't treat me. I don't care. I mean, I do think that's funny, though. The people that always say that I don't treat them nicely always come back. They're always like, then they're hanging out until they don't get treated well again. Oh, I wish you'd treat me better. I wish you would learn. I bet you get into heaven. Well, how about this? If you don't get into heaven, I will say this, Jason. I bet we'll end up in the same place. Is that what you're worried about?
That depends on actions that we take between now and then.
Nah, I'm good. I've done it. I think I've built up enough cred. I can't see me turning enough that it's gonna. I'm good.
I'll say this: if something were to ever happen to my wife because somebody else's negligence, I've already told her. I said, "You don't have to worry about anything. I will murder. I would just, yeah." So on that note, I'm pretty sure I would probably end up going to hell because of,
why?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Have you not read the Old Testament? There was some smiting going on back in the Old Testament. So you just go out and...
Oh, yeah.
So if you use like Christian terms like, I went and smited that guy, I think you'll be fine. Remember when you killed that guy that killed your wife? I didn't kill him. I smited him. Oh, that's it. You smited him.
We bring back, David and Bathsheba again, where he fell in love with her, but she was married, and he sent off her husband to the front lines, and then she died, or he died, and then she ended up getting with David.
Yeah, that's a good Christian guy. That's a good guy to... Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And did we mention he was tiny? I think that was
He
mentioned in
wasn't
the
tiny.
Bible. He was
He was huge.
he was a tiny, tiny boy. He was a little shepherd boy. Yeah. I wonder if I'll see him there. I seriously. So someone asked me once, living or dead, who would I hang out with? And it would be like 15 people. So it'd be Jesus, the disciples, and Mary and Joseph, because I got a lot of questions. I'm like,
Yeah.
so what are you doing, Jason, if tomorrow someone walks by and goes, "Hey, Jason, hold on, I'm trying to, because I know that you do like barbecue and stuff, so I was trying to make it kind of barbecue. Hey, instead of you eating barbecue, why don't I teach you to fish for barbecue?" I've been smoking during the show, so I know that didn't come out right. I just want to know.
What the hell are you talking about?
So when Jesus is walking by and he's like, "Hey, come and I'll make you fishers of men," to the fisherman who was at Mark and I forget whatever the disciple, who walks by? What job? I hate my job. Not hate. If I could, anyway, I still would find it hard pressed if someone walked by, opened our front door, I hear the ding, and someone's like, "Hey, why don't you follow me?" And then I don't know what I don't want to know what the elevator pitch is at that point. Like, "Why don't you follow me? What are you going to do?" I don't know. Me, you, and 11 other dudes are all going to live together. I mean, I don't know what the pitch is to get you to drop everything. The family business. We're fishermen. Oh, no, we're going to be disciples for this guy. So Jesus I want to talk to, the disciples I want to talk to, and then Mary and Joseph I want to talk to. I mean, there had to be at one point when he got left in the temple.
At this point,
yeah.
At this point, I probably would. I'd go with him. I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm fine with that. I feel like I've done everything here. I don't know what else to do. Just up and leave and never come back, and just not tell anybody." They'd be like, "Where'd Jason go? Who knows?"
Yeah. And then wait, then someone fucking paints a picture of the Last Supper, and there's Jason sitting there hanging out with Jesus, eating.
That'd be cool.
Eating whatever they ate there. I just want to ask Mary and Joseph also. I mean, first of all, Mary. Are you sure it was something? Are you sure? I mean, I'm just saying. And Joe. Come on, Joseph, buddy. I mean, he was the first one that believed the story that an angel came. And I get it. An angel came to him too. That's still a hard pill. That's another thing I have a problem with. Like the belief in that, but then like if you told someone today, "Oh yeah, this person, yeah, they're pregnant, but yet they said they've never been with anyone." Oh, they'd immediately talk about lying and tearing them down instead of going, "Oh, well, this must be the second coming." I don't know.
Yeah.
I just a lot of my problems I have are with the people. And sometimes, and it'll even go to somewhat into political parties that they get so like, if you don't believe the same exact way I do, I'm going to leave. And what ends up is they end up being siloed because, they're in this big group and we don't believe the same way you do. So that group that was 10 is now 9. And then, well, we don't believe the way you do. And now that group is 8. And so you just keep going down and you make it. But I don't know. I didn't know we were going to talk about religion today, whenever you're digitally listening to this podcast.
Funny how that always comes up, and people don't really want to talk about it, or they don't really know too much about it, but everybody has a different view on it. So
Yeah, I mean, I still remember going to a high school Bible study, and it was run by a preacher or a minister from the church that I went to. But once again, he was like a youth director, and what they usually saw in me was a loud, obnoxious person that made his own rules and kind of just did whatever he wanted. And that's how they saw me. And I remember distinctly them asking what John 3:16 was. And I remember this room was packed. There were probably 30 high school kids in there. And someone, I don't even remember what they said, but he goes, well, does anyone else? And I raised my hand, and he was like, yeah. And I go, well, God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. And he goes, that's like exactly it. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why the fuck? I mean, I get it. But see, this is why stop judging me. Because I use the word fuck a lot or goddamn or what, or scream at God and say, hey, Jesus, when I get to heaven, I'm going to hunt you down and punch you in the face. I get it, but you don't need to judge me for that because I know some stuff too. So that's for the other people, not for me. This is the soundtrack in my head all the time. Like I say, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm going to go use the bidet. Speaking of which, had a very nice conversation with our neighbors about bidets today. So that was fun.
I figured that song would be this.
Hey, Jason, I'm having to mute your mic because that may get copywritten. So I'm going to give you 3, 2.
Then I'll just say it was the Benny Hill theme.
Oh. What is that? Jackety Sax? I think that's the name
there you go. Yakety
sax.
Sax or whatever.
Oh,
we don't want you to get in copy. We don't want you to get in trouble.
It was weird because my dad. So I don't think we ever found anything in his paper. Some reason I always thought my dad was a spy, and then it was always because there would always be like these little quirks or something. Like my dad's sense of humor was a very European sense of humor. Like he loved Benny Hill, and not a comedy, but he loved Doctor Who. And he was it just seems he was more in tune to that. But that is funny because the Benny Hill theme. It always amazed me because I'd look at my dad and I'm like, why do you like... And then he also like Get Smart. And maybe that's the reason I thought he was a spy. Because I was like, if he were a spy, he would totally be Agent 99. I think that was him. I can't remember.
If I was a spy, I'd have to go with Agent 69.
I don't get it. We already talked about 69. It's not that great.
It is actually.
It is. No one is.
It's better. 69 is better for you than eating cake.
I don't know. Bobby's a good baker. I mean, I would. So here's the deal. If I had the option to skip 69, have chocolate cake, but then do other things to Bobby later, I would totally do that. I'm fine on, if it's like 69 or nothing, sure, I will do 69 with Bobby.
Do you eat her cake all the time or what? What's going on here?
Of course I do. That's part of the routine. I try to always make sure she's taken care of first. That's how it should be. It's only been, whoa.
You stick your tongue up her butt?
No, I do not penetrate her anus with my tongue.
That's what eating cake is, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. I don't know. No. That's tossed in a salad. What's that?
I guess we're going to have a sex ed talk.
Well, we should, since we're talking about church.
What is eating cake?
I have no idea. And I'm not looking that up on my phone.
That is not a good thing to Google. It just says cake is primarily made of flour, sugar, and eggs and butter.
Yeah, but you got to go to the Urban Dictionary if you're going to look that up. Okay. Man, I didn't know we were going to talk for 2 hours. I thought this would be a short show, and then I'd be like, oh, see, I can do this better on my own than I could with Jason. And here we are, 2 hours in.
I proved you wrong.
You did.
Actually, it's less than 2 hours
I
because
know.
somebody said they were going to call me at 8 o'clock, and it was actually 8:02 when they called.
It was.
But hey, I'm not a stickler for time or anything, you know.
Well, I will tell you, I had to go in before I started recording and show Bobby my penis.
Oh, is she there listening to this whole thing?
No, she's in another room, but I needed to make sure. I mean,
You
I
know,
don't
my
want
wife
her
and I
to
need come
forget
up
what it
sometime
looks
so we
like.
can
It's
have
only
a
it's
foursome.
only
You
been
know that,
20
right?
it's only been 28 years. I don't want her to forget what it looks like. So I show it to her a lot. Like
You know, my wife and I need to come up so we can have a foursome.
Nope. Nope.
A double date thing
Nope.
going on, right?
Nope, you lost me at foursome.
Why?
No. I can't. It's me and Bobby because other people get involved. Who knows what's going? No, thank you. I get injured enough with Bobby. If I'm trying to do things that I have literally never tried or trained for, no, no, thank you. I'm not doing that. Can't be done. So I'm sorry. No multi partner configurations.
The next time I come up for a podcast interview, I'm going to make sure I wear sweats and I'm going to have my wife distract you, and then I'm just going to flop it out and just bang it right there on your keyboard. I'll do the helicopter right in front of you. You'd be like, oh my God, put that anaconda away.
You can't do that.
Nope.
You can't do that. Ever since Kobe Bryant died, Bobby won't let me do the helicopter. She was a big Kobe fan. Actually, I think I may have done that, like after Kobe died. I think I may have done the helicopter and then ran into the wall.
Horrible.
I know. Is it too
Horrible.
soon?
That's horrible thing to say.
I know. You know what, though? You're fucking in a helicopter, okay? Things might go wrong. First of all, here's the thing. I would have never gotten in a helicopter with fog. Fuck that shit. I will tell you this, that while a lot of times it's a detriment, I used to be in charge of risk management, so I ended up getting a keen eye of what could even possibly somewhere down the road with a couple of wrong turns become a problem. But fuck that shit. A helicopter pilot comes and tries to pick me up in dense fog in the mountains? No.
The Democrats did it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We didn't even.
See, no, that's why the reason they crashed is because they were getting too high and they hit the firmament.
They were what?
They went too high in the sky and they hit the firmament. They couldn't make it out of the atmosphere.
Yep. That's why. The old firmament.
I mean, it's all flat Earth and firmaments, right?
Yep. That's how it is in my simulation. That's for sure.
We've never talked about Antarctica. You know that, right?
I know, and we're not doing it on this show.
We should.
No, because if we finish this up soon, there is a good chance that I can get to Bobby before she totally dozes off. So, like right now, there's a 50-50 chance that I'm going to have sex tonight.
What's your game plan?
Actually,
you just go in there.
Actually, I take that back.
There and be like, hey. I mean, do you just walk in there naked?
No, I will take that back. I misspoke.
Does she play with herself before you go in? Or
there is
what?
a 100% chance I'm having sex tonight. There's a 50-50 chance I'm having sex with a partner. I'm hilarious.
Do you have a flashlight?
No. Oh my gosh.
I should buy you. I should buy you a flashlight.
I was in risk management. There's no way I am using a flashlight.
I should buy you a flashlight. I
No.
should make you a flashlight.
What are you going to do? Take a Pringles can and a couple of sponges?
I will. Yeah. Hey, that works too, you know.
Oh my God. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know either.
Here's the deal.
Seven that are broke.
So like when I was, so here I am. I was a very accomplished basketball player. But one thing I could never do was spin the ball on my finger and balance it on my finger. And people would be like, that's weird that you've played basketball your whole life. You got to this level, blah, blah, blah. But you can't spin a basketball on your finger. And what I would tell them was, well, I was too busy playing the game to learn how to spin a basketball on my finger. So that's why I don't have a fleshlight. I am too busy having sex with my wife to need a Pringle. That's basically what a fleshlight is. It's someone that took a Pringles
you're
can.
Saying that you're saying that you're using that comparison. So you're doing too much fingering that you can't have a fleshlight.
Yeah. That's what you took from that. That's what. Yeah. It reminds me of you sometimes have reminded me of my dad. You will hear something and then you'll be like, this is what I just heard. And it's like, that is not anywhere close to what you just heard. So, okay.
It is actually. That's what I thought you said.
So I think it's going to be funny because tomorrow Roz is going to wonder why you are going to look up Fleshlight Do-It-Yourself.
No, I've already got like 3 of them.
Oh my
Doc
gosh.
Johnson, and I broke 2 of them already. It just doesn't. It's too small.
Yep. That's why.
Too quick.
That's what. Yep. Sorry, those fleshlights. Just too small. Okay. Jason, thanks for being on the program last minute. I'm going to go see if I can go accidentally fall into my wife.
Don't be doing any of that penal stuff. Nobody likes penal.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to go eat cake. I don't know why you have such an aversion to that.
I don't want to stick my tongue in my wife's butthole.
Well, she needs a cleaner butthole. So what you're doing,
funny.
what you're blaming. That's like
I want to know what your version of eating cake is. What do you do
that's when a golfer is blaming his clubs. I guarantee it's not the clubs. Okay, so you're blaming her butthole. You shouldn't be blaming. It should be clean. You're blaming it because you need to have a bidet. Like, that's what, look at bidet companies. You should be, if you became a salesperson for a bidet company, I would get you so much business on this because people need clean bums. I mean, here's the deal.
What do you do when you're eating cake?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
I don't call it eating cake. I just like to eat Bobby from behind. Very simple. I don't have to call
So
it.
you're tongue in the pussy then?
You really have a... See, this is why I need to start posting Bobby and I on our OnlyFans. Because so what I could do is put like a $5,000 a month, just like one tier. And so all I would need was one subscriber. And I have this feeling if I did that, like a week later, you'd be like, I just found this amazing job. It pays me $5,000 a month, but somehow I'm still broke. And I would thank you for your patronage.
Yeah.
I always tell her, she goes, she goes, I don't want to see us having sex. And I go, yeah, we're not the sickos that's paying for it. I go, there are going to be freaks out there that want to see us having sex. I mean, think about it. It's 12 and a half feet of humans having sex.
Think about this for a minute. There's women out there that bottle their farts, literally bottle them and sell them and make money.
Yeah. 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 I wish I could do so. Here's the deal. So if I would have been more forward thinking about selling my jizz, I wouldn't have gotten a vasectomy after our second one was born, after Trinity was born. I was like, hold on. Sorry, I had to get back to that sound square.
Do you have to take hormone pills because you're not producing enough estrogen?
Yeah, that was it. No, seriously, with my IQ, my height, my blue eyes, I mean,
Those are contacts. Don't lie.
okay. Yeah, so I would my seed would be in high demand because no one's going in there going, could I have someone who's 5'7" of average IQ and maybe a puke brown eye? That would be great.
Not anymore. You got the COVID shot, right? You're not you're tainted now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Another one that we need. Yeah, that'll be for another time. I probably, if we talk too much about that, I'll probably have to put a disclaimer in some link for whatever anti-information you're going to give. I'm probably going to have to give a link that shows like real information. So like every time you say, oh, I'm now sterile because I got the COVID vaccine, then I'll have to link where the COVID vaccine.
You won't have to worry about that now because you got a vasectomy a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do it. So
I know.
on the other hand, I could do it because I'm I'm unvaccinated.
Yeah, well, hope you don't get sick.
Smart. I don't want to become a Democrat.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And I didn't want to turn into a 6'5" blonde hair, blue eye with an IQ of 170. I just wanted to be dumb.
Yep. Well, congratulations. You have succeeded. Hold on. Now I get it. See, I'm already at the part where I'm ready to roll this out. This went from being a show I was ready to do earlier this afternoon, and then I reached out to you, so it was fun to talk to you. Thanks for being on the program. Next time come up with something, and I'm sure that it's going to be something outrageous about the COVID vaccine or...
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
I have proof.
Okay.
Yeah. I have proof.
Okay. I can't wait to...
You can't dismiss the fact. You can't dismiss it. I'm not like Trump, okay? I have proof.
Okay.
And it's concrete.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it. Everyone else will be excited as well.
Proven guilty.
Okay. So we'll get on to that next time then. So for this time, I want to thank Jason Ernst for coming. Thanks for getting me. See, I got to talk, and I got to clarify so that everyone knows how much I talk to God. And now they know more explicitly how I talk to God. And that I don't think that...
You should pray to him after this podcast, because I know I will too. All night long, I'm going to read the Bible and pray to him, because pray for forgiveness.
Well, I will tell you this. I will take up a missionary position and make Bobby say, yes, Lord, quite a bit. Thanks, Jason. Everyone, thanks for listening to the podcast. My name's Ro. You've been listening to the Stone Genius Podcast. I'll listen to y'all later. No, you'll listen to me. Whatever, I've been smoking. Bye.